We are here at Photokina 2012 at the Olympus booth talking to Franziska, Jorke, Section Manager in Corporate Communication and Events, Claudia Bahr, Department Manager in Digital SLR and Pen Systems, and Uwe Lussem, I hope I pronounced your name right, Section Manager in Direct Export Area, all for Olympus. And we are going to ask you a few questions about the new products that Olympus has introduced here at Photokina, and maybe a few general questions. So let's start with, again, a general question. There were some information, maybe rumors on the internet talking about a deal maybe between Olympus and Sony. Is there a truth to this information?
If you watched the media in the last weeks, you saw that there were several rumors about possible cooperations with Olympus and other brands from the medical field as well as from the consumer electronics. And what has been made evident this summer in our midterm strategy plan is that Olympus has to enhance its equity ratio. So it's true that Olympus is looking for ways to do this, and the company wants to conclude this decision by the end of the business year in March 2013. So yeah, but what we read is just rumors. It's nothing that has been published by Olympus itself, and when time comes.
Okay, so basically nothing is set. Yeah, okay. Currently you have both the DSLR line and the pen line. Is there a chance that in the future, maybe you're thinking about it, you're going to integrate both lines into one line of products that will be maybe Micro Four Thirds based? I'm not sure. Is this something that you're thinking about?
Basically, we really see the future in Micro Four Thirds because there are a lot of advantages. You have the mirror as a limiting technical feature because when you're talking about frames per second, there's always a limitation. So if we're talking about the long-term future, we see this in Micro Four Thirds. At the moment, we still have the E-system with the E5, and we also still see need because we have a lot of 4/3 high-grade lenses out in the market, and we have to serve all the photographers having these lenses. And we always said that we will provide a solution. How the solution in the next generation is looking like, if it's an E-system or a Micro Four Thirds, we have to see, but definitely there will be a solution, and time will come when we will also switch to MFT.
Okay.
Sorry,
yes.
let me add. I think the present also gives Olympus right. If we think 4 years ago, we presented the first Micro Four Thirds mock-up. Then 2 years ago, everybody was guessing who will join this mirrorless market, and here we are in 2012. Everybody is there.
Yeah. There are a lot of, we have been to all of Photokina, and there are a lot of manufacturers producing lenses for Micro Four Thirds. And this is basically growing quite considerably since 2010.
Right. In Asia, this market is already 50% of the system camera market.
Yeah. Basically, going back to the E-system, there was some announcement, I think, from Olympus saying that there might be a next generation of high-end E-camera, E-body. Can you say something about that?
There will be definitely one top professional camera using all the top professional 4/3 lenses that we are having, but how it's looking like, if it has an E or a P in front, this we have to see. That's depending a little bit on the development. For sure, there is something in planning. And how it finally look like, we have to see the future.
It's probably not for this year, or you can't say at this point.
Yeah, we already have September, so the year is not so long anymore. So I think more something will come with the next year.
Okay. The OMD EM5 got a lot of good reviews, basically online and in published magazines. There was a quote of the president of Olympus saying that the sensor for the OMD was manufactured by Sony. Can you maybe comment on that, confirm that, or something else?
Basically, we also heard some of these, or we saw it in the internet mentioning that he said something like this. Unfortunately, we are not really in the position to mention who is the producer of the sensor, because it's always agreement between the different brands, and unfortunately, we cannot confirm this one.
Okay, but you can probably say something about the sensor itself. Is it used in the new 2 Olympus pen cameras that you introduced?
And this is really one good point that you are making, because we have 2 new cameras that we are announcing here at Photokina. This is the EPL5, the Pen Lite, and the EPM1, the Pen Mini. And in both cameras we have the same sensor and the same processor as we have in the OMD. So you mentioned before that it was a big success, the OMD, and we got a lot of awards and we have a very good image quality, and we can say that we have exactly the same image quality now in the both new models. And thanks to the processor, it's not only image quality, but it's also speed. That is the same level as of the OMD.
Can you say maybe a few things about the specifications and maybe the differences between both cameras and maybe this generation and the previous generation?
Yeah, basically what we enhanced here is, as I mentioned, sensor and processor, so image quality and speed is enhanced. What we have on both models now, it's a touch screen. This was not in the prior Pen Mini and Pen Lite, and we see this also really a direction for the future, because you have much more possibilities if you're using a touch screen. If you have a group of people, if you want to frame only one at the corner, you first have to frame, you have to focus, first you have to focus, you have to frame, and then you have to shoot. And by the touch screen you only can put your finger at the corner, and then directly it is releasing. What else we have in? We have the possibility to upload images directly to your iPhone, because this is also something that we can see for the future. Here we have the normal card in, but here we have the Flash Air card in. And all our cameras are Flash Air card compatible, means you can control these cards via the camera. You can set the password, you can set the name, and you can give private access only to one person, or 5 people at one time can access to this card. How is it working? This card is working as a network on itself, so there's no external network needed. You just set it once up, and then via your iPod, via your iPhone, via your iPad or your Android phone, you can directly access to the card, can download the images, and later on share it also with Facebook.
What's the differences between the two cameras?
From the technology inside, it is the same. As you can see, the outer experience is a little bit different. You have much more buttons on the EPL line, because the target group is a little bit different. So if you're a little bit more an advanced photographer, you have quick access buttons to make a lot of setting. And one basic advantage or difference of the Pen Lite is that we have the silver LCD. And you can even put it to portrait mode, so you can make images of your own.
Self-portrait.
Yeah, can also use it for video. If you make on YouTube, I think you have a lot of possibilities to make own videos, and you really see what you finally shoot. Very small thing, but I like it a lot. We also have an interval shooting with this one, because normally when you make a self-portrait, you push a button, you run behind your group, and then you make a nice image, and then you push again. Now you can make an interval of 10 images in a row, so you only have to push once, and then times it is shooting, so no need to run around the camera again.
This is specific for this model, or both of them?
This is specific for this model,
okay.
because here we have this display, and then you can directly see and also arrange the group. So.
Okay. You also introduced the XZ2, which is an advanced compact camera. We also have it here on display. What is new for the XZ2, and contrary maybe to the XZ1, which was also an advanced compact camera from Olympus?
Right, you can see from the outlook that it changed a little bit. Here we also have now a swivel LCD. You can put it up and down side, so for images from low or high angles. What else is new? We have a new sensor inside. We had a CCD sensor 10 megapixel before. We have now a CMOS sensor 12 megapixel. So the processor is also new. It is exactly the same processor as of the Pen and the OMD. Means it's extremely quick and very, very good quality. What is here new? We have this hybrid control ring. And we also had this in the XZ1, but now you have the switch here. You can switch it from analog to digital mode. And if you have it in the digital mode, you can change the settings. So you have different art filters. You want to go from one menu option to the other. If you put the switch to the other side, we have the analog mode. And here you can now zoom, and you can also focus. And this was also one request from our customer, saying it's a very nice camera, but one add-on we would like to have really to use is a ring also for zooming and focusing. And this is not possible with this one.
Very interesting. Is the sensor different than the previous model? The sensor you said.
Yeah, the other one was a CCD, and this one's a CMOS sensor. Means also the video capability is quite enhanced. Also, one small feature what the R&D is quite proud of, they also changed the mechanism of the flash. It looks quite the same, but it'll pop up. It's really quite smoothly, because before in the other model it was really popping up with a loud sound, and sometimes also the devil's in the detail, and I think it's quite nice.
Is the shooting speed faster in this model because of the CMOS sensor?
Yes, it's not only the sensor, it's also the combination between sensor and processor, and it's quite quick. And the good thing is you also have the possibility to use the touch screen. And this is also quite unique in this category of cameras where the XZ2 is fighting. What's also new here, you have a changeable grip. With the XZ1 we had no grip, now it will be delivered with a black grip, and we have 3 different colors that you can put on, because also one direction for us is not only to provide technical things, but also to have stylish accessory items.
An experience.
Right, especially in the pen series and also in the XZ, we see a market for this one, to have grips, to have nice bags. We also introduced a new, very nice photo lady bag, to have nice straps, so this will be also one direction for us.
You can buy these grips separately?
Yes, right.
Okay. In terms of what should we expect in terms of the lenses for the Micro Four Thirds line?
We all already have Micro Four Third lens, not only from Olympus, but combination with Panasonic 25 lenses. We introduced now also some new ones. First of all, we have the 12mm as a limited edition in black. We already had this before in silver, now it's black. It's a snap focus lens, so you can also very good use it for street photography. There's no need to focus because you can directly see the distance where it's sharp. And this is now new also in black. Then we have another one, also made for the OMD, but of course you can also use it for the pens. This is a 60mm macro lens. This has the same quality as the former 50mm 4/3 macro lens. And this was really used as a reference lens for all the tests across Europe. And we get a lot of requests. We really need such a kind of lens also for the Micro Four Third market. It looks a little bit bigger than the former one, but actually it's not, because the other one was smaller in the transport position, but if you zoom, the lens barrier was coming out, and then in the end it had the same height.
This doesn't extend, or does it?
No, it does not extend. It's only extend for the lens hood, and this is also a new mechanism, because normally you screw the lens hood on the other upside down, and now you can just flop it up and
Very
down.
useful.
I think it's quite useful. What else we have here? It's a splash-proof lens, so it's perfect for the OMD. The OMD is splash-proof, and also this lens. And we have a focus switch here, because especially when you shoot macro, sometimes you have very, very long distance to focus, and here you can even switch in which area you would like to focus, or you can put it once to one macro, and then you zoom in 90 centimeter distance, you have a one-to-one macro.
The design of the lens is very unique. I think this is the only lens that I saw that the numbers are written from the bottom to the top and not from side to side. What you can see here, I mean, here is the...
Yeah, because you have the scale here. That
Yeah,
you can see.
the scale is from... How did you do it? It's typically from in the other direction.
I think they did it also because of space, because you have a little scale here, and then you can see in which area you focus. And the designers thought about doing something unique, and I think this was the outcome out of it. And I think it's fitting quite well.
True. I also agree. Basically, a lot of the companies that we saw here at Photokina introduced both Wi-Fi and GPS, or one of them, inside their cameras. This is something that I think that we haven't seen from Olympus inside the cameras. You showed the air card before that you can use with the camera. Is this something that you're looking into?
I think at the moment we think that this is really the best solution for us we can think of at the moment, because we think that the mobile phone is a central device and you can directly transfer to your mobile phone. And the good thing is that no network is needed, because when you think of Wi-Fi solution at the moment, you always need a network around. And when you are outside in the mountains, you have no network. So there you have the possibility. How it look in the future, we have to see. For sure, the mobile device will be a solution. This is something we are looking into.
I think that there is another advantage. If you use a card, you can move it from one camera to another, and you know you just bought it once. You don't have to buy it for each and every camera that you use.
And there's also not only the need to use it in cameras, you can also transfer other files and use it in other devices. So this is quite nice. Basically, just to come back, because we forgot 2 lenses that are quite nice, so I really would like to touch upon. One's a development announcement. This is very similar to the 11-22mm lens. It's also metal finish with the snap focus. This is just a development announcement and will come around next year, the first half.
This is a 17mm?
17mm 1.8, so a quite bright lens. And the other one I really would like to point on is the body cap lens. You can see it's really as thin as a body cap. And it's a nice add-on. So normally when you transport your camera, you just have it in the pocket and then you have a nice shooting situation. So you take it out and you first have to change the lens or put the lens on to make an image. And here you just open the slider and you can directly make your images. It's a fixed aperture. It is 15mm focal length and it's aperture 8. You have the possibility to focus a little bit manually from infinity to 30 up to 30 centimeters, or you can just close it. I think it's very nice for instance shots. It's also price-wise quite interesting because it costs €79. Of course, when we are talking about lenses, the cheapest lenses that we have, the most affordable lenses that we have in the lineup are above €300. So this is a nice add-on, and this is also getting the most attention on the fair here because everybody is into this one.
So basically, it's a lens cap which you can shoot with.
Right, it's a lens cap with 3 glass elements inside, and also our R&D was quite impressed by the quality. So it's much better than a compact because you also have the bigger sensor.
Okay. 2 last questions. Since the time that we talked basically in Photokina 2010, since then, what do you think was the biggest change in photography, or maybe for the Micro Four Thirds, or in mirrorless in general?
Maybe I can answer to this question. I think the biggest change is, as we said in the beginning, that in the end all manufacturers joined the mirrorless market, so it gave our direction right.
Okay, so there was a big push. We actually saw, I think, a lot of Micro Four Thirds lenses here at Photokina, so there is a push for your specific system or ecosystem of cameras and lenses.
Yeah.
Okay, and if we look forward maybe to Photokina 2014, if you can maybe speculate, what do you think is going to be the biggest change that we will see from what we now are seeing in Photokina?
Maybe each of us can give a
Okay.
speculation. What I think is a task for the future is that cameras have to differentiate from smartphones. So they have to give added value and significant USPs to enable shots that are different from things that you can do with smartphones.
For me, in the end, there are 2 things. One is really what you asked prior. It is the connectivity, that we really have to see how we transfer also good qualified images to Facebook and all the social networks, because at the moment the iPhone or the smartphones are used, but the quality is very, very low. And we already have the first solution, but I think that this will be developed further. The second thing, I think that all manufacturers also now go more into design and style. And not only to have maybe a nice camera, but to have nice accessories. We are just starting here with grips, but in this direction I think a lot further things will come, because it's not only technology, you also want to have a nice style item.
Okay,